Let's dive into this one, huh? Richard Dawkins, The Selfish Gene.
Yeah.
This book, man, it kind of like turns everything upside down
He does.
when it comes to thinking about evolution.
Right.
Because, like,
yeah.
we're looking at it all from the point of view of,
Yeah.
these tiny little things.
Yeah.
Genes.
Yeah.
The building blocks of life.
Great, Gene.
So I'm excited to, get into this with you
Absolutely.
because you're the one that suggested it. I've been looking forward to this one.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. So Dawkins is basically saying that we should look at organisms, even us, as like vehicles for these little replicators, these genes.
Yeah, okay. So I got to admit, the first time I heard about this whole gene's eye view thing sounded a little, I don't know.
Far out.
Far out.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what are we talking about here?
Right.
But then when you actually start to think about it, it's like, oh, wow. It's like a whole new way of understanding how things work.
It really is.
On a really fundamental level. So can we, break this down?
Sure.
For folks listening, what does it actually mean
Yeah.
to see evolution from a gene's point of view?
Okay. So imagine instead of looking at the animal or the plant, just focus on the genes themselves.
Okay.
These genes, they're like little tiny survival machines. They're competing, constantly competing to make sure they get passed on.
To the next generation.
Exactly, to the next generation. And the organisms they create, they're just the tools.
Like the vehicle?
The vehicles, yeah. Dawkins calls them survival machines.
Right.
They're just helping these genes
reach
their goal, which is to replicate, basically.
Gotcha. So it's not really like
Yeah.
the animals or the plants are consciously being selfish.
No.
It's more like the genes are kind of running the show.
Yeah, they're pulling the strings.
From behind the scenes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to get this.
Good.
So if you think about a mother bird risking her life to protect her chicks.
Right.
That seems like totally selfless.
Yes.
Right.
But
from the gene's point of view, it's
it's a strategy.
It's a strategy. Yeah.
Think about it. Those chicks, they're carrying copies of her genes.
Right.
So if she protects them...
She's making sure.
Exactly. She's increasing the chances that those genes will survive and make more copies in the future.
That's amazing. So it's
And Dawkins calls that kin selection.
Kin selection. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically saying that, actions that look selfless, right? On the surface can actually make sense.
Yes.
When you're looking at it.
Totally.
Through this selfish gene lens.
Exactly.
Okay. It's blowing my mind a little bit.
It's a good one, right? It's it's a whole new way of seeing the world.
Totally. So it's even the most basic behaviors, you can understand them in this new way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Dawkins, he doesn't stop there.
No, he keeps going.
He takes this gene-centered idea.
Yeah.
And he applies it to,
something you might not expect.
Something totally unexpected.
Culture. Yes. He introduces this idea of memes. Yes.
Okay, now this is when I first read this, or back in the 70s, it's this guy's a time traveler.
Right.
He predicted the internet.
He was ahead of his time.
Before the internet even existed.
Yeah.
So, memes, right. I mean,
okay, so memes are...
Everyone knows what a meme is now, but explain it. Explain it.
But back then, it was a new concept.
Totally.
So Dawkins is saying that memes were units of information that spread from person to person.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, so think about a catchy jingle from a commercial back in the 70s. Or a fashion trend that everybody's suddenly wearing.
Got it.
Those are memes.
Okay.
They replicate.
Yeah.
They mutate. And they evolve.
Just like genes.
They're competing for space in our minds.
Wow. Okay, so it's culture is like a giant ecosystem of ideas.
Yes.
All these memes are battling it out.
Competing.
To survive.
Yes.
Okay, so in this world of competing memes, you're saying
Dawkins argues that
cooperation can still emerge.
Exactly.
Right, even though they're all kind of selfish.
Right. Because cooperation can be a good strategy for survival, even for these quote-unquote selfish memes.
Okay, so give me an example. How does that work in culture?
Okay, so think about scientific theories. They're memes too, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they spread through people working together.
Collaborating.
Exactly, collaborating, debating. sharing evidence.
Okay.
So it's like, even though the underlying drive is like selfish,
the desire to like
to replicate, spread.
Right.
It can actually lead to these really complex and cooperative systems.
That's amazing. Okay, so we got to talk about the extended phenotype.
This is a good one.
This one really blew my mind.
It's a mind bender.
So can you try to explain this to our listener?
Okay.
Because it's kind of a tough one.
It is a tough one. So imagine a beaver.
Okay, a beaver.
Building a dam.
Okay, classic beaver behavior.
Right. Now that dam, it's not part of the beaver's body, right?
No.
It's built by the beaver.
It's shaped by the beaver's genes.
Right, okay.
It's a structure that the beaver builds to improve its chances of survival.
And ultimately, the survival of its genes.
Okay.
So Dawkins is saying things like beaver dams, bird nests, even spider webs.
Whoa.
They're all part of an organism's extended phenotype.
An extended phenotype. Okay.
Expressions of its genes
that go beyond the body.
That extend beyond its physical body out into the world.
It's like genes reaching out and shaping.
Exactly. Shaping the environment.
The environment to their advantage.
To help them survive and reproduce.
Okay. So this is all like super fascinating. But where do we fit into all of this? Right. Like humans, does this mean that we're just like puppets of our genes?
That's a good question. And Dawkins actually addresses that. He says, no, not exactly. Humans are unique. We have self-awareness.
Okay.
We have consciousness.
Yeah.
We can make moral choices.
But understanding this whole selfish gene thing, they can help us understand. Like the roots of our behavior.
Our behavior,
Okay.
Like the biological roots.
Right.
It's like having a new lens to look at the world through.
Okay, so obviously a book like this,
it's
gonna spark
controversy.
Debate.
Big time.
Right. Because it's such a...
It's a big idea.
A big idea.
It challenges a lot of our assumptions.
Yeah, totally.
About ourselves, about the world.
So what are some of the like pushback that Dawkins has gotten?
Well, one of the biggest ones is this idea that the selfish gene is promoting selfishness.
Right.
Like as a good thing.
Like we should all just be selfish jerks.
Yeah, exactly. And Dawkins is like, no, you've got it all wrong.
That's not what he's saying at all.
Not at all. He's just trying to explain how evolution works.
The forces at play.
Yeah, the forces at play.
Not
how we should behave.
Giving us like a moral code or something.
Exactly.
Right. It's more about
about understanding the world around us and ourselves.
And how we got here.
Yeah, how we got
through this process of evolution.
Yeah,
okay. So it's like peeling back the layers and seeing things from this totally new perspective.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's like...
And it leaves us with some really deep questions to think about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, what are some of the...
Like, if our genes are really in charge, what does that mean for free will?
Whoa.
You know?
Right.
Where does altruism really come from? What does it even mean to be human?
Yeah.
In this world that's shaped by these tiny little forces.
Invisible forces.
Yeah, invisible forces that we can't even see.
It's amazing. It's really mind-blowing.
It is.
So, the selfish gene. It really gives us this like...
A new framework.
Yeah.
For understanding life.
Yeah.
And it might even make you...
It might make you, like...
Question your own motivations.
Yeah, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, why am I doing the things I do?
Is it just my genes talking?
Right. Exactly.
That's wild. Okay, so if people listening are, like, totally intrigued by this whole...
By this idea.
Selfish gene idea.
Yeah, and how it might be shaping human societies, human behavior...
What would you recommend?
I would definitely check out E.O. Wilson.
Okay.
And especially his book, Sociobiology.
Okay. Sociobiology by E.O. Wilson.
Yeah.
We'll put a link to that in the show notes. Awesome. Well, this has been another amazing deep dive.
It has.
I love chatting about this stuff with you.
Me too.
So until next time.
Yeah.
Keep those minds open.
Keep them open.
Keep diving deeper.
Keep diving deeper.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.